Anyways, all right, so um, for a couple of days, I think I managed to do some progress on different aspects of Unison. Not that much on Midi part, but I think I fixed some issues with brave marks. But yeah, I still need to test, I think, brave marks, and I need to implement measure fermatas and also test them. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be able to do it even today. So let's start. Let's start with one thing. Let's go to the master, all the changes, and create a new branch. Midi 9. Alright, so let's now run the tests. Okay, just to be sure that everything was working fine. Alright. Anyways, now let's try to test this thing. So I would probably start with some sort of I mean, here's the thing. I have brave marks only that come before sound units. I don't have them like right after them. Maybe it's kind of like not that pretty impressive, but I think that if this feature will be requested quite often, of course it won't be that difficult to implement. Kind of like clefs and the end of the measure. Although to be honest, I think it's more of a stylistic choice than practical one, because I don't know, maybe when you're trying to play some piece of music and you see the change of clefs, maybe it's kind of like easier. But to be honest, I kind of like don't see that much effect from it. But maybe I'm not super professional musician, so but not super. I mean, I'm not professional at all, so maybe it's really that helpful. So I don't know. Okay. Something is not right about my stream. I don't know, maybe it's my internet connection or okay. Yeah, it seems like it's alright. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just gonna continue with existing features. Don't see that much point to expand them. Anyways, so brief marks 1.txt. So let me start with just simple test, which is oh my god. Yeah. Just to hear that there is a delay, we're gonna do something like this. I put the delay as 2 seconds for brave marks because Mm, I don't think that they must be dependent on kind of like tempo or anything. And it's just, it's not expected that it's some certain number, but, just an indication of something. And most likely people understand that this pause or brief mark, it's kind of like, it can be done or implemented differently in any, even in any kind of like anytime you play a certain piece of music. So yeah. So probably I made a mistake in the name. Okay, brief marks. For some reason I decided to use plural voice time before initialization. Oh, interesting, I found a bug. 318. Why the linter didn't found my stuff? I don't know. So what should I do? Is it somewhere declared or not? Should I use voice time before? I also don't like that voice time is called voice time, but on the other hand, kinda used to it. Okay. Yeah, there is no reason. Okay, maybe we can even declare it here. I don't know. Let's just be sure that I didn't break any tests. Okay, let's create first of all this one. Okay, now let's run all the tests. Yeah, it seems like it doesn't affect anything, so it's all good. And of course I made a mistake. Of course we need to remove this because I want to hear the difference. Alright. Yeah, so let's go. Two seconds isn't... I don't know, maybe it's too long, maybe it's alright. Alright, so yeah. Also maybe I should have... should I test it for grace notes? I don't think it affects anything for them. But yeah, but just in case, let's create one. But I'm thinking maybe there is a more important test that I need to write. Maybe at the beginning, right, of the measure. Yeah, maybe it's also quite important. So let's see. the fact that it's the same time here, is good. Yeah, it works. Okay, let me think. Let's do the same thing, but let's say only that. Yeah, let's go with the fact that it's a grace note. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it doesn't affect anything. All right, so I think we done enough that. I don't know, maybe I missed something, but in this case, let's just run the coverage. And we'll see what's missing. Okay, so I think that, yeah. Okay, just let's open this thing. Okay. Yeah, it's not that cool, although, yeah, for some reason I thought that it's much higher, but yeah, we'll see. Let's open this MIDI thing. Yeah, this one I know. Probably will add test later. Yeah, I don't see anything related to the Brave marks, so it's all good. But of course, there are a certain number of tests that I would be happy to add. Yeah, there are like few files that need more coverage. Also like this one. Yeah, or even this one. Oh, maybe I just can delete this thing, right? To me, it seems like it's never happened that we are just calling this thing always with some value, default value. I don't know. It's kind of like a bummer. Of course, this thing, I need to analyze this. But yeah, I don't think that it's difficult to bring up to 100 all the files in MIDI. And in general, I think, yeah, what comes to like async objects, it's really not that hard. It just would take some time. I don't know, it's just for, for flexing rather than for usefulness, but yeah, I mean, it's not difficult, so because like the main thing, the drawer is quite high, although the folder structure will be changed. I already have a plan of making the drawer engine more consistent, kind of like more coherent and more, more consistent in terms of how we declare functions, how we manage side effects, all that stuff. So, and of course, I will just emulate the hierarchy of elements there. So it will be really really. I would even say it will be a piece of art in some sense. But yeah, really proud of those things, because if we take a look at the drawer engine, is 100 for how it's called for statements. It's 97% for logic, like branches and everything, 100% for functions, so every function has been tested. So overall I think it's excellent coverage. It's close to 100. You just need to bring up those numbers, which I don't think that difficult to do. And we'll see. And of course, what comes to parsing the language, it's also quite high test coverage. Of course, it's lower than the drawer engine, but at the same time, I just need a bit more time and energy and focus and like mentality to achieve those numbers. But yeah, we'll see. The Midi part is not that impressive, of course, compared to other stuff, but the Midi part is the most easiest thing to do. I just need to bring up this thing, and it will be very close to 100. I mean, yeah, even this, it's quite impressive considering that I'm not finished with Midi Export. So yeah. Yeah, I think those things kind of like matter only in terms of just feeling better, because it's quite important when you develop a product to feel better about your product. Of course, it doesn't mean that when I will get all hundreds that it will bring the same amount of impact in actual, like the same way that it brings visually right here. But at the same time, it's if you can make make everything perfect, why not to try? If it's not that difficult, and it will bring joy and positive view on your own product. So of course there are a lot of spots that I need to improve the coverage, but overall I think the most critical elements of my product are covered quite well. So yeah, I think it's a matter of time, and I'm pretty sure that with rewrite of, rather than restructuring, I'm not gonna rewrite big chunk of code in drawer engine. It's just making it more cohesive, and we'll see how it goes. I'm quite excited, but of course I need to start marketing campaign, because it's been for a while, and I am trying different strategies of how I can promote my thing, but I think it all comes to just to reaching out to people somehow. And when you're trying to promote something new and something that people are not necessarily used to, you feel like the whole world against you. Although I had a lot of positive reviews and opinions, so yeah, I think it's just a matter of time when this thing will will bring some profit to me, but we'll see how it goes. So just 1 second. Alright, so yeah. So let's go and mark this thing as done, I guess. Something comes up, it comes up, so we'll see. But to me it seems like Brave marks is not that difficult to implement. Let's just commit this thing. Maybe even push it. Yeah, I believe that the most... So how to detect that you're writing the code in a proper way? When you're adding the number of lines that kind of like comparable to the complexity of your feature, I guess. So in this case, I added 95 lines, but most of them are tests, and here, yeah, I just moved this one line, and overall, I think maybe, I think some of the changes I pushed earlier. So most of them are just tests, so it's always nice to have not that many actual code brought into the product. So we'll see. I'm just curious about the linter. I think it's I feel like everything is alright, but let's check it. Yeah. Alright, so I think we can meanwhile go back, or maybe not. Let's wait for this and continue. I just don't wanna sort of cherry pick everything. Okay, something is... Yeah, those warnings I didn't get before. Oh, it's on npm run I. So somewhere in my code, query string has been used. Alright, I think we can get rid of it. I'll see. So yeah, maintaining all their libraries is always headache. This is why I don't like dependencies in general. So I don't know. Maybe in the future when I'm super smart, I can, you know, replace everything with my knowledge and my leaps for doing some of the difficult parts when I decided to use external help. But yeah, we'll see. The world is changing now at the pace than everything talk about, but it changes nonetheless. And sometimes it's good, but sometimes it means that you need to do additional work in order to keep your product up to date. So, well, I mean, when everything is perfect, then it's a nice things to do. But when you trying just to develop some features and etc., of course, it's always a headache. By the way, I'm not entirely sure how long it would take for me to finish Midi Export. Because I left the most difficult parts at the end, but those are quite interesting tasks. And of course, Midi player, I need to choose which one I'm gonna use. Right now I'm using from Tone.js project. It works fine. I even used their sort of MIDI builder because for some reason, I don't know, some reason I decided it's better rather than, you know, exploring the tiny teeny details of MIDI, I don't know how it's called, format or protocol, but I don't know, is it a good or bad thing? I have no idea. Let me take a look at the dependencies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I... Yeah, I'm using Tone.js as a node package. But of course, I need to figure out how to generate MIDI in the browser, right? I'm not quite sure. I need to think about it. I'm pretty sure that I was including the MIDI player somewhere. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so I'm just curious how it works. I was pretty sure that... Do I use like external links or something? I'm not quite sure. Oh, right, yeah. I'm actually using the MIDI player as a... from CDN. Yeah, I mean, for now it's alright, but in future, of course, I need to figure out another way. And another problem is that I'm using this as a dependency, as a Node.js dependency. I need to figure out whether I probably will attach some sort of browser minified file somewhere here. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I even can use. I don't know. Maybe I can produce MIDI from on the backend, although it's just unnecessary. Because if I can do something on frontend, as practice showed, it's better to do it on the front end. It's just faster. It creates less load on the server, and yeah. Overall, it's much better. I mean, I don't know. I need to think about it. But I will definitely try to. I'll definitely try to do it on the front end for sure. But of course, this library is quite useful to do the job for testing and etc. And I need to find a tool which will tell me which of those dependencies are not used at all. Because yeah, to me it seems like something is off. Another thing scares me a bit then that some of the libraries can no longer be maintained in the future. I don't know. I'm not saying that this particular, but yeah, I'm thinking just out loud that I need to reduce the number of dependencies or somehow brought them to the code base. Yeah, we'll see. This thing, I think it's more of dev dependency. Although might be wrong. Also, those things, I'm not quite sure that I'm using them. Yeah, I think this one, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, most of them I'm using kind of like for dev as a dev dependency, but I don't know. It's not like that important because it's standalone project. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, web development is horrible in the sense that I have tons of scripts, and it's like combining them is not good for maintenance, but not combining them makes multiple HTTP calls. I mean, which is alright especially for me when I created a library that basically makes those calls. But like EHTML, where I do tons of requests from single page, but yeah, overall, if everything is cached and properly versioned, so yeah, everything should be fine. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Overall, when you think about a lot of problems, you kind of like can get a headache or get insane. But so yeah, let's focus on what needs to be done, and slowly but surely we will reduce all the risks about external dependencies. I'm pretty sure that this library is not a rocket science. If I take a look deep into the code, I can maybe even create my own version or fork which I can use. I don't know. If only I had a lot of time, of course I would probably deal with all those problems, but unfortunately I need to fight for that time. Anyways, so let's merge our wonderful thing. I think it's already green. Let's go to the master. Pull the changes. Since it's I'm calling branches like my stream numbers. So let's go Midi 1, 9 and 1, or maybe 2 since whatever. Okay, so let's do the measure fermatas, which is basically the same thing as brave marks, but they work in a way that if measure has at the end fermata, then we need to create a pause certain time, and let's do it like 3 seconds, maybe 2.5, I don't know. All right, so so should I add at the end of the measure, or should I always check the previous measure on fermatas and you know, kind of like push those things? I'm not quite sure. I'm quite sure. The same thing for brave marks. I could have done just in the same way, where like I'm adjusting this variable rather than, you know, how it's called, rather than calculating each time. So let me think, where was it? Yeah, this one. I just decided to do in a way that grace not time adjustment works. So yeah. Yeah, I think it's because we need to work out around the node times. But anyways. All right, so what should I do? Probably I should somehow yeah, there was some stuff that's been related to this thing, and yeah, when I was just trying to do this thing, yeah, okay, all right. Okay, so probably I need to do something like this. If measure params, me go to the page schema and see how it looks. Okay, probably. Yeah, ends with fermata. If it's true, then I'm gonna create some variable which I need some consistency with the namings, so okay, yeah, all right, measure fermata duration in seconds. Let's go free, let's go wild. Okay, so what should I do? Well, I think I need to do this. Yeah. Although I'm thinking right now, maybe I don't need to add this thing, since I'm already adding this thing. So probably it would make more sense. Maybe. Let's go for this. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, so yeah, maybe it's a good strategy in general. Because it will show the main, how to say, because like we need this only when we don't have this, right? I mean, we could have them together, but I don't think it's overall good mindset. But another thing that I have in mind, like this thing definitely fucks up the, how to say, the timings, maybe, because like, you know, JavaScript maybe is not the best language with float type of things, but yeah, I think I can handle them later. The same problem I have with the visuals things when we have tons of digits after the dot, but it doesn't seem that it affects anything, so I don't know. And yeah, what comes to this thing, I guess we can do something like this. So if measure ends with something like that, then probably we adding this thing, otherwise we adding this thing. So yeah, let's test let's check that I didn't ruin any tests. Okay, I ruined some tests. Short one. Oh right, because I have this fermata thing. So let's hear. Actually, this is example which I have on the main page and which I added recently. By the way, it's really cool that I can even create an export for this thing. So this is what it was before. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that I don't know how long I would yeah, for this particular piece I don't think that like 3 seconds of pause between first and last measure, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, maybe let's put like a brave mark or some sort. But actually this test shows that it works. I don't know if I need to add any more tests, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, let's go with 2.5 seconds, just for fun. Okay. Yeah. It works quite fine. So we'll see. Okay, so let me restart the unison. Yeah, I don't know. Should I add more tests on that? I don't know. Let's just run the coverage. I think it's just simple as that. Nothing extraordinary. Okay, so I think this thing also done. And I need to handle, if I can finish dynamics on the next week, that'd be awesome. Then I will take a short break. Or from streams, maybe I will develop some of the stuffs of stream approximately for 1 week, and we'll see. Yeah, I'm just curious about how long it would take for me to finish those things, and most importantly, how to develop infrastructure for Midi Export and how to introduce it to the editor, because it's not that trivial. I need to somehow do it in the most elegant way possible. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna do dynamics, so that I cut a lot of time, I think. But in general, yeah, I need to just mentally be prepared what I need to cover for dynamics, and maybe read a bit MIDI before doing something. Sometimes, like in recent months, I think I realized that sometimes it's just thinking about the problem, realizing how to approach things, and then coding is much better than trying to code while you're solving the problem. So I think you always should have such mindset. And this is why I'm generally against, sitting in an office and trying to come up with the best solutions, because, I don't think that you can come up with best solutions while you're just trying to work on them at the same time. First of all, you need to think about your solutions and then code them. And yeah. first of all, you kind of like must prepare yourself mentally and focus on particular problem. Then you try to solve it on a paper, on a whiteboard, or in a head. Since I'm quite lazy, but to my surprise, I can handle a lot of stuff in my head. I can solve pretty difficult problems in my head and then just, type the code. But when I'm sitting, especially on streams, I don't know if it work out. You know how they say, I don't know the exact translation, but it's like the most skillful improvisers are usually prepared before they improvising, or so to speak. So you got a point. Yeah. All right, let me update the test. Let me run everything. So yeah, as I think that in general it's a good approach to mentally be prepared, because like handling dynamics, I need to figure out how to do that in Midi, even if I don't know if it's even possible. This first thing. And the second thing, I need to figure out how to do that like in terms of I don't know, in terms of like crescendos, diminuendos, and like single dynamics and etc. So yeah, we'll see. And also I don't know how it would be affected by the grace notes. Should I consider them? They'll be considered anyways, but that's another headache. And also I think I need overall just to try simplify code for adjusting anything for grace notes, but we'll see. Just I need to real check, not here, but here. Like for example, even Octava 4 on this. Even here, like such some simple thing like octavars, I'm considering like grace counters and whatnot. I mean, they work in the same pattern. Maybe somehow I can, although I'm kind of like against such idea because everything can change. And also I have different setup of breaking points and continue points, which is not necessarily work in the same way like for the pitches. Or the pitch adjustments. So yeah. There are tons of things I need to think about, but anyways, I'm quite happy with the progress. This is what I was planning to do, and if I can do the next week this thing, including all complications with grace notes, and maybe I can somehow simplify the code in general. But again, I need to think about it, how to achieve this in the best way. But I have a lot of challenges here, but what can I do? I just need to overcome them, and I'm a bit scared, but also excited to implement those things. I already somehow was thinking about arpeggiated chords. It will be difficult. Some of the stuff I even have no clue because I haven't studied the effects in MIDI, so we'll see how it goes. And also, I was when I like look at the ghost nodes, I I'm thinking about like um, you know like percussion instruments and stuff like that. So I'm not sure that I support them at the moment. Maybe I do, but yeah, I need to figure out because they're kind of like in a separate group of instruments in MIDI, at least in this library. So yeah, I need to handle that as well. Yeah, pedal marks also kind of like dependent on grace notes in a way that I need to detect small details. Um, yeah, I think glissandos also kind of like. I mean, if I can handle ornaments, I think glissandos um, pretty much the same thing. Not the same thing, but have the same obstacles. Yeah, articulations is a affect thing, kind of like a tremulous, kind of like ghosts and kind of like microtones. Pedal marks as well, they combine complications from effects and also kind of like handling grace notes as well. Slurs, not quite sure what I'm going to do in slurs in general, but yeah, this is why it's the last feature here. Usually it's the pedal marks, but here it's slurs. Yeah, and also like in the language, I feel like I think I done decent job on pedal marks, but it's inconsistent with other elements like cross measure, cross stuff units elements. But the thing is, sometimes you must break rules in order to make life easier. Not sure that it would work for other elements, although I might have some options there, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm quite excited because I finished all the kind of easy tasks. Handling dynamics is relatively easy compared to what comes next, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking like maybe I can handle pedal marks right after handling dynamics. Maybe somehow I can rearrange those tasks in a way that if I started with kind of easy, maybe I can. Yeah, let's rearrange them at least today. Maybe handling. Yeah, let's move them here. And let's call this kind of meat. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, if I can do those things, probably. Do I have anything? Yeah, maybe after that I can set up different group of like maybe I can start with ghost units since I've done pedal marks, although pedal marks is I don't know, maybe pedal marks is difficult because I don't have idea on on FX. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of difficult to say. Maybe after dynamics I need to think about ghost units, probably. Or even tremulous, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should learn about articulations and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a good idea. So we can do something like this. It's the next group. Then I can focus on really tough stuff like glissandos, blah blah blah. And this thing, yeah, I think those two can go right after those effects, right? Although handling tremulous is not only effects, but they require some time adjustments as well. We'll see. Maybe with the kind of like my knowledge about effects and etc., I can do like this. Then I can go with really heavy stuff. So yeah, those three are the most difficult ones, I suspect. Yeah, because ornaments like turns, for example, they add up some notes in a, basically in the middle of the, how to say, in a score, and I need to figure out also like duration adjustments and etc. So all those kind of things, yeah, I need to figure out how to deal with them, and we'll see. Yeah, there are a lot of islands of tasks, but we'll see. Yeah, handling dynamics would be fun. Then those things also. Those things are kind of like combination of effects and handling cross measures things. Tremulous is kind of like, I don't know. Right now I'm thinking maybe I need to handle ornaments. Yeah, maybe I need to handle ornaments because it will show the pattern of how to adjust insertion of new notes, because like tremulous are kind of like this thing. And then since tremulous is a combination of effects and new notes, so to speak, I don't know, we will handle this thing. Then we go to arpeggiated chords and glissandos. Yeah, I think it's a more cohesive plan, and yeah, if I go like this, I have more chances to succeed, I suppose. But yeah, overall I think the number of lines of code of course will increase, so I need to figure out how to create a pattern of managing such complex logic, because it's really long. I don't mind, because let's be honest, if you particularly interested in some piece of code, you need to understand everything, and just trying to extract those things into different functions just for the sake of making it look good would cost you hiding from the understanding the whole thing, which is quite kind of important, because sometimes even ordering of those lines of code are quite important, especially when it comes to repeat signs, and like repeat signs or repeat dots, codas, signs, signals, all sorts of things. So yeah, overall I must be satisfied with current solution, because it's at least it works, and it's covered with good amount of tests, so we'll see. Yeah, the next thing, dynamics. So if I can do this next week, that would be awesome. I think it will be good indication of the progress. Yeah, we'll see. Right, I think that's about it.